Hello, everyone. I'm Pamela Marshall at the Wellness Radio TV and at the Wellness Radio TV podcast. Welcome. Thank you all for joining across the country and across the globe as we embark on another very informative gathering of experts as we talk about doing business with the continent of Africa. Don't know if you know or not, but just think about this for a minute. Europe is, as far as resources are concerned, is the second poorest continent on the globe, while Africa being the richest continent. And you might ask yourself, how is it that Europe has some of the richest people in the world with being the second poorest country in the world? I'm not going to answer that for you. That's your homework for next time. We have some guests who are going to talk about the incredible opportunities that are opening up on the continent of Africa and the partnerships that are forming with companies here in the United States of America through the African Trade Network. The African Trade Network is established to create a network of trade between Africans, the Americas, and throughout the world, from South America, Asia, Pacific Islanders, Middle East, and Europe. Our goal is to create jobs through entrepreneurship, helping people to start their own businesses while gaining understanding of our differences through various forms of cultural exchanges. From San Francisco, one of the leaders of the African Trade Network, Alicia is joining us. She is a business owner as well as a founding member of the African Trade Network. We're going to talk to her about her business and hear from her straightforward some of her concerns and some of the obstacles that she was able to or is working toward overcoming in helping other people look at and appreciate the opportunities there in Africa. Our other guest who is from Sudan, Abdullah Adoma. Forgive me if I mispronounce your name. He is joining us. Thank you all so much for joining us. We will have other people who are joining across the country and across the globe. If you have questions, please put them in the chat. We will be sure to address those questions and make sure they all get answered. But let's get started right away. Alicia, tell us about your business, where you're located, and how people can get in touch with you and why your involvement in the African Trade Network is so important to you and the growth of your business.
Thank you so much, Pamela, for that intro. I am so glad to be here. I'm a photographer and videographer and graphic design artist, and I've been doing photography since I was a teenager. And so as I meet people, like I met Franklin Marshall, the founder of the African Trade Network, I started to develop more and more skill sets in this thing that I love to do. So I've worked with Franklin on several projects, starting with the Club 400 Years, acknowledging the 400 years that Africans have been into America, or that, we are African Americans here in America. So I've worked with him on that project. And so documenting these things are so important to me because we need to tell our story. We need to have that history and cultivated with what's going on today and culminating that information so that our people that come after us can have this documentation of what we did while we were here. And so I am so excited to be working with Franklin. He's such an encouragement to me, as well as the African Trade Network, as we have been meeting weekly, just really encouraging one another in our businesses and just practicing best business practices and just the business side of things and just how to look at it globally and be able to work together to mesh this thing together so we can all grow and be more sustainable.
Thank you, Mr. Adoma. Tell me about the work that you're doing. And well, first of all, what I would like for you to do is address some of the concerns that people might have. As a journalist, I did a story on a woman who rescued pit bulls. She said pit bulls are great dogs, but only the pit bulls that do something bad make the news. Sometimes people are apprehensive when they hear about doing business in Africa. What do you say to those people about their concerns? Because it's such a rich continent. There's so many wealthy people there. However, we don't see and hear that in America. And so talk to people who feel like, I don't know if I would do that.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Penera. So a lot of people have the myth about the Africa, especially our brothers and sisters born in the United States, because the Africa, they didn't have the information like the United States. But so when the people go to see, to look for Google or any resource, they don't have the value information research in about the Africa, especially about the trade or business or something, unless you go there physically to do to look. But some people, when they go there, they didn't come back like the Chinese. They go to Africa and then they start their business and try to bring their family there. And that's the people, they didn't, so that's, and also as the African people, when they come to United States, we, most of them, they are the workers, not at they looking for the job, and also they looking for the title, like people, they study the master degree or the PhD, so that they can give them the higher identity in their community. So that's a lot of, but right now we have African Trade Network that we can help us to bring the information, the opportunity for the people, especially the investors, and also even the people, the African people, like live in different countries out of the continent. So that's they can give them the information, and a lot of people, they lose the hope in Africa, especially like we have a lot of problem in Africa, like and politically stable. That also they afraid the people from Africa. So two things they afraid the people, and also the people they didn't think about the Africa. One is the lack of information, and the second of the what they heard from Africa, the what is going on in Africa. And a lot of media also, they play the negative role in that in Africa, like they give, it's not gonna bring good news in Africa. Only they bring the bad news in Africa. So that's they turn investors and even the people in the continent, they turn away from don't thinking about the African, how to go to invest in Africa. But right now we have we have the platform. We can educate the people, and we can give them the hope for investors, or whether the brothers and sisters in different countries over the seas, so that we can help them and to go to see the opportunity, because the African, he has huge opportunity, whether it's the natural resource or the capacity of the people, how we find a lot of labor. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Both of you, Alicia and Abdullah, if you could talk about what it means to you. I know this African Trade Network exists as a place where people can come, learn, and find out who they can network with in a very safe place, safe where people are being safe and honest with each other. What does it mean to you to be able to do business with the continent of Africa? Alicia, you want to address that?
Yes. You know, I almost I got really emotional when you asked that question because I've been wanting to go to Africa, but I did have reservations about going. My niece was, excuse me, my niece was a part of a group that went to Africa. She went as a teenager. I was so skeptical about her going because of those things, those myths that we hear about Africa. Some things may be true, but she was able to go twice with this group. Once as a teenager, then she got to go back again as a chaperone. And the way she came back and reported to me on what it really is out there, it just really made me want to go. So when I came in contact with Franklin and we were speaking about this African Trade Network, it would seem so huge. As we've been meeting weekly, it's really just cultivating my heart to want to be there. I want to see it for myself. And there's a sister in the network who is there now in Africa. And she is developing her business as being a bridge between Africa and the foreign countries, so that there will be a smooth transition as you enter into Africa, because there's so many things that you don't know in different countries. Everything is different. So she's developing this bridge, so when people come over, they'll have the information before they get there. They'll know what they need. And I just love the fact that my mind is opening up to me actually being able to be there and encouraging others to come and having these resources to share with them, to say, this is what it really is. We have this, we have these relationships here in Africa, and let's do this together. Let's get over there. Let's see what it is. Let's take some tours. So I'm really excited about my first time being able to go to Africa, because I'm going.
The African Trade Network was developed by Franklin Marshall to bring together like-minded people, entrepreneurs, those who are from the continent, who can help bridge the gap in doing business on the continent. Thank you for pointing out, because so many people will call Africa a country, that it is a continent. It is a vast continent, the home of civilization, the first university, the first library, the richest man known to humanity, Mansa Musa, who was a ruler, a king in the area of Timbuktu. So the resources are vast, whether it is oil or rubber or diamonds, other kinds of resources that the continent has, gold. It's so rich. It's so rich. The image that people have of being uncomfortable with doing business in Africa, because once I posted that we were doing this program, I did get people who messaged me who questioned doing business in Africa. How is it that the African Trade Network can help bridge that gap in educating, as well as making sure that any obstacles or stumbling blocks that people might have in starting businesses can be overcome? Any of the panelists, please feel free to answer that.
Maybe I can just jump in if I can. I think already a lot of countries are doing quite some effort in making sure that, trade is done and is doable, and, the ease of doing business is achieved. We even have come up with what is known as the ACFTA, which stands for African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, that kind of like allows countries to lower down the barriers of trading with each other. And this is so important because the level at which African countries are trading among ourselves is so low compared to some of the economic blocs in the world. For instance, at the European Union, they're currently trading at about 50% or more. In other words, the majority of their businesses, the business that's happening within European countries is about 50%, and then the other is from outside of the European Union. When you do look at the African continent, you realize that we are trading at only 6%. So those levels are so low. But the thing about this ACFTA is just a document as far as I'm concerned. And at the very best, it's about government to government. But we don't have some pragmatic tools that can basically, let's say, inspire people to meet, because trade cannot happen unless citizens of different countries actually do meet, talk, exchange values, do B2B matching, and things of that nature. So I think the African Trade Network is meant to sort of bridge that gap and inspire or organize and make Africans move, while at the same time receiving talent from the diaspora and the lovers of Africa who are outside of Africa. I think that's one of the ways that the African Trade Network can participate in bridging that gap.
Also, I just want to add, oh yes, thank you so much.
Go ahead,
I just want to add that, coming together, the African Trade Network with the different entrepreneurs, with just leaders in the continent, in the different countries, it shows that we support them. We're supporting them with the entrepreneurial aspect of training, of learning how to do business, of encouraging leadership. So that's just part of what we would offer, is a coming together, like you're not alone in this. Like, we can help you fight for the things that you want in your country or on the continent, and how we can work together to see a collective vision of righteousness, of victory, of justice.
What are the other countries in Africa that are more welcoming right now, that I could go there and be a part of this growth, be a part of the wealth building on the continent? What countries are more welcoming and to Americans and other people from other countries? What are those places? Where are those places on the continent that some of our viewers could be looking at?
Yeah, I may say Nigeria. Why I say Nigeria is that Nigeria is the most populous black country in the whole world. Nigeria has over 250 million people, vast land, vast natural resources, vast human resources, whatever you talk of. Take, for example, what is happening in China today. America went to China because of cheap labor and started developing things in China. Today, China has grown almost much more than America, even without the knowledge of America. Mm-hmm. So that is exactly what we have in Africa that we can capitalize on and develop Africa. When America was going to China and planting industries and factories and institutions because of cheap labor, they never knew what they were doing, but they were empowering them. They were getting cheap labor, but yet at the end, the whole market comes to America. And where were they produced? Made in China. Check your house today. 9 of the items you have in your houses are made in China. It doesn't matter whether the owners are Americans. Nobody cares. Majority of the companies, they are owned from America. Americans own them, but they are produced where? In China. It didn't say made by an American. It said made in China. So that is what I think that we can also do to Africa. If we can go to China and invest, why can't we go to Africa and invest? We still have cheap labor there. We can still produce those things and they will still come back to America here because the market is here. We have 310 million, 220 million in America. So the market is still here and the money is here. So we can invest over there with the cheap labor and the facilities that we have.
My name is Queen Ejindo. Actually, that's my rector sitting in there. I do appreciate you all. I appreciate Mr. Marshall for inviting me to sit in. But as I hear about what's going on in Africa, specifically Nigeria, where I'm from, my skin crawl. You asked that question. what is one of the best place to go, or what is one of the best countries to go in Africa? Let me tell you, all African countries, because when we say Africa, people think it's just California. We have resources. Just go in and check, research it. The resources we have in Africa is mind-boggling. Now you ask question. I'm one of the founding member of Queen Casio Outreach. It's a non-governmental outreach for community health and agricultural development. We come into the area, we help provide health and food. If you don't have food in your stomach, you can't do nothing. Agriculture is number one. You come into Africa, but let me just put it just down to Nigeria, where I am from. The infrastructure is not there. We have agricultural. If you come in and say it's just agriculture, you can do a lot, because we are like what they call the fruit basket of the world, but mainly Africa. But we don't have mechanized way to do it. We don't have the energy. So now a lot of people are coming in with solar energy. What do they call that? Other kind of producing energy, which I'm involved. We've been involved with international people trying to come into Nigeria, but all they need is someone like us here. So I appreciate this African trade network, because it takes over everything that the Americans have been afraid of. While individuals go in Russia, France, Germany, they go in, suck everything we have, the raw material, bring it back here in Europe or Western world, refine it, take it back and sell to us. Why can't they come in? And people like us will take them in. Yes, they say in Nigeria there's Boko Haram, but it's just that little spot there. Nigeria is as big as, if you combine Texas and California, it used to be just Texas, but now they've grown to over 200 and something million people. So you're talking about the Northeast having Boko Haram. What about the rest of Nigeria? There are no roads. We need people to come in and give us that. You have agriculture, you don't know where to take it. There's a place we call Ajokuta. Ajokuta used to be #1 in the world, where they made all the steels. But guess what? Today, Ajokuta has been run down. There is not a pathway to get in there, though this president is doing it now. We have gold, we have cocoa. There's nothing we don't have. All we need, like Dr. Anyene said, is we need people like you all to come. We take you there and show you the way and lead the way. My brother that spoke earlier talked about South Africa. What they did in South Africa is what we're asking you all to come and help the other African countries. You go to South Africa, everybody rush to South Africa. What about the other 50-something countries that no one have seen? Virgin resources. I disagree that we don't have resources. We have a lot of resources, but we want people to come, dig into those virgin resources, help us grow Africa, and let us move. Do not come in, take what we have, refine it in your country, like our crude oil is being done in Russia. That's why you have this, what do you call it, $7 per gallon gas over here in California, because there is no gas. Nigeria makes gas, but we are looking for gas in Nigeria. They come in, take our crude oil. Why can't you bring your mechanized, come into Africa, help us grow Africa, and then we can sell what we have back to this place? That's where you, Dr. Anyene, the rest of my brother Abdullah, and then my brother Frank Marshall, and every one of you, Onyinye, let's go. See what is there. You will see how Africa is. It's like a tree beside a still water. and it's green, but there's nobody coming in to say this stuff is green. Let's just take it. Every leaf in Nigeria, in Africa, means something pharmaceutically. Every root means something. Every fruit that falls on the floor has something, antitoxin. Nobody is there to help us. So you, the African Trade Network, is the voice. You are the voice of the international Africa that the world will be seeing. Let's go. There's no way to be afraid. Yes, we do have a way for you to get there. We will take you. We will show you the people. Yes, the president are corrupt. The senators and politicians are corrupt. But there are people in Africa that are not corrupt, that can take what you want to do and show you where and what of it without political interference. So we
Queen Elizabeth,
need to come in, please.
thank you. Queen Elizabeth, you are amazing. You're so inspiring, and I'm ready to go. Where there are humans, there is corruption. Here in the United States of America, it's called interest rates. So we have learned to navigate that, and we must learn to navigate what's happening on the continent of Africa. I really do thank all of you who have joined for this month's session of the African Trade Network and the conversation. This conversation could go on well into the evening. I'm in Gainesville, Florida, so I'm Eastern time in the United States. And I look forward to us coming together again. All of you who are here, this group meets once a week, every Monday, and we invite you to be a part of that group. If you're not on the email list, if you would, put your email address in the chat, and we will make sure to notify you about the next meeting, the meeting on Monday, as well as this meeting. Also, there's an opportunity for you to be a member of this powerful organization that is growing and is using the kinetic energy of all of these voices that you've heard today, so that we can collectively, individually, but collectively be a resource and a voice so that we can help build wealth for each other, for future generations, and to bring life to a place that some say there are pockets of darkness, but the resources are so powerful there. I think as you talk about, for every fruit that falls on the ground, there is healing. There is healing in every leaf. And I've never been to Africa, but I am so looking forward. I can only imagine that once I set foot on the soil, that my soul will rejoice. I also want to invite all of you to be a part of our International Day of Peace, September 21st, that will be happening in Gainesville, Florida, but it's going to be on the internet. And the theme this year is Peace Takes Practice. We hope that you will join us for that. And all of you who are interested, and I can't imagine anybody that is on this call today, that's on this Zoom today, that would not want to be a part of this dynamic organization, this connection of voices and resources. Even if you think, well, I'm not ready to do business in Africa. Are you ready to learn? Just so that you can learn about things that did not make it in the curriculum in your schools that we attend in this country. So being a part of this just as an education resource, because you may be talking to somebody else who will mention to you that I'd like to do business in Africa. Stay on this call and stay on this Zoom, and we will give you more information on how you can become a member of the African Trade Network. So as a collective group, we can move forward on one mind and one accord. There is so much strength in a cord. A threefold cord is not easily broken.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, hi, Tiffany.
Hi, how are you?
Sorry, Tiffany, I didn't see your request in the chat.
Okay.
Where are you, Tiffany?
Right now I'm in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. I'm from Chicago in the US. I've been here about a year and a half. And I was brought in by Brother James, which I'm so grateful for this network because it's really needed. I can't stress how much this network is really needed because there are a lot of us coming from the US particularly. And we are trying and we're jumping out there, but there's a lot of incomplete information online, via YouTube, even some of the government sites. It's not that it's misinformation, it's just not as clear. And because the dynamics of doing business on the continent is very different, we're not understanding the requirements until we get to the countries. So we're coming with our resources, our cash, our, you know what I mean, our hopes. And a lot of us are having to go back because we need a network. We need someone to hold our hand, say, hey, this is how you do this. This is because saying, oh, just come, it's easy to do business. That's from an African standpoint. That's from, you know what I mean? It's not from the diaspora. You have to even figure out how to stay in the countries. So this network is so very needed. I'm very grateful for it. I'm really excited to see where it goes in the near future, because I think it's a platform that will help the migration. It will definitely, it's key to the migration, I believe.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. What is your business?
Right now, I have several things going on, but I'm starting a consultancy to help the transition to people in Kenya and other countries, hopefully.
Excellent. See, you see a need and you are being a solution.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Franklin Marshall, thank you for birthing this network, the African Trade Network. And I'd like to hear from you as people are still staying on. So if you'd like to become a member, and I strongly encourage you to become a member, if for no other reason, but for the education purposes. Mr. Marshall, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to serve as a moderator today.
Thank you, Pamela, for being our chairperson for the discussion. And it was totally invigorating. And I'm so excited that each one came to share and all of you came to listen to this valuable information. We're excited about our membership. We're excited about the things that we have planned for the future. Tiffany, we want to get you involved even more. We would love to have you. We'll talk to you about what we can do to work more closely together. And again, I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming and sharing. It wouldn't be this if you weren't a part of it. So continue to tell friends about the network. And we want to grow this so that we can be an asset to you, to your friends, to the people globally, that we can be a real asset to the success of people that want to be entrepreneurs. You know, entrepreneurs, they are the mainstay of communities. They build the communities, they hire the community, and they make the communities grow. So entrepreneurs are extremely valuable. And if we think about entrepreneurship, it is engulfed in everything in society. A preacher at a church is an entrepreneur, believe it or not. They have to know how to do business. And so we have every aspect of the society that deals with entrepreneurship. And so we want to be the real catalyst for developing entrepreneurs. Our mantra is building self-sufficient entrepreneurs. Self-sufficient entrepreneurs can survive in any condition. So that's what we're all about. And we want to see you grow and be healthy and prosperous.